Hi, my name is Akshit and I work as a developer relations engineer at Maxim AI. In this video, I'll be teaching you how you can create your own custom prompt tools on Maxim platform. So we will be creating a simple HR chat system that will be provided some context based on the HR policies of the company, and we will be attaching some tools to the HR agent. To give you a high level overview, this is something that we're going to create. Our user will be asking questions regarding HR policies, leave policies, salaries, reimbursements to our HR chat agent. HR chat agent will be initialized with the HR policies context within the system prompt, and it will be attached in LLM. For our use case, we will be working with the non-reasoning model. And as you can see, we have also attached some tools with our HR agent. For our use case, we want the HR agent to calculate the reimbursement possible for the employee based on the type of reimbursement the employee is asking for. It can be travel, food, internet, etc. And the second thing or second capability that I want my HR agent to do is calculate the salaries of the new joinees based on their previous years of experience, domain of expertise, and current base salary. So these are the two tools that we are going to first code on the Maxim platform in the prompt tools section. And then I'm going to show you how you can attach your tools with the single prompt. So I'm on the Maxim platform, and you can go to prompt tools section from the left hand side menu. Then click on the create prompt tool button. Over here, let's give a function name. This function name should define what you are going to do with this function. So we are going to calculate the reimbursements, and the name of my company is TechEase. So TechEase reimbursement calculation. So this is the description. This function calculates the reimbursement possible or not. If yes, then how much? This is a code prompt tool. We also have API and schema based prompt tools, which we're going to see in the upcoming videos. And that's it. Let's click on create, and then we need to write the code of this function. So this function is definitely going to take some parameters, do some mathematics, and then come up with an output. So we are going to take two parameters for this function, expense type and expense amount. For every type of expense, my reimbursement possible is fixed. So those limits I'm going to define over here. So this will be an object with key value pairs. For travel, the reimbursement possible. For travel, the reimbursement limit is 5,000. For training, it is 10,000. For internet, it is 3,000. And for meals, it is 2,000. Now, the next thing is I have to check whether this expense type is valid or not. For example, if the employee is asking for the reimbursement of purchasing of a laptop, then it is not possible because that is not covered by the company. So I'll simply write an if condition. If in my expense limits, I do not have the expense type that the employee is asking for, then I'm going to return invalid. So if not expense limit dot has own property expense type, then I'm going to return expense type is not valid for reimbursement or invalid for reimbursement. Then I'm going to check what is the maximum expense limit for that expense type if my expense type is valid. Now after this, we know that all the expense types are going to be valid. So let max limit is equal to expense limits at expense type. Then if my expense amount exceeds the maximum limit, then I'm going to consider the reimbursement just for this limit. Otherwise, I'm going to reimburse for that expense amount. So we basically need to find a minimum of these two. So let amount is equal to math.min expense amount, comma, the max limit. Great. Now I can just return a statement for the amount. Great. So this covers our first tool function. Make sure that this function name matches with this function name. And if you do that, then automatically your variables will be detected so that you can also test run it over here. So if I try with the expense type of meals for my amount, let's say 4,000, then it should ideally return the reimbursement approved for the amount 2,000. So let's see, as you can see, reimbursement approved for the amount 2,000. Let's make it colon because it is actually looking like minus sign, and let's run it again. Okay, I need to again fill the values. So expense type will be meals. And this time let's say the amount is 10,000. Run it. So it is allowing me to reimburse for just 2,000 rupees. Great. So this will be our first function, tool function. Now let's write the second tool function, which helps us to calculate the salary of a new joinee. So click on this plus prompt tool. First of all, let's save this tool also. Yes, great. Now let's click on the plus prompt tool. Function name will be TechEase salary calculation tool. This tool helps the HR to calculate salaries of new joinees. This is again a code prompt tool, and let's click on create. Now this tool accepts 3 parameters. First one will be the previous base salary. Next is years of experience. And last will be the domain of expertise. So domain. So first of all, what I need to do is, so based on the years of experience, I'm going to classify the employee into one of the 3 categories, that is junior, mid or senior. So I'm going to define a experience hike. So basically this hike will be based on the experience, years of experience that the person has got. This will be an object, and I'm going to write some domains. So write down the 3 categories, that is junior, 10% hike, let's say. For mid, let's say 20% hike. And for senior, 30% hike. So let's write down some comments also. This is 3 to 5 years of experience. And junior will be 0 to 2 years of experience. Now the next hike will be based on the domain of the person. So I'm going to define constant domain hike, software development, 15% hike, data science, 20% hike, cyber security, 18% hike, product management, 12% hike, and HR, let's say 8% hike. Great. So based on these 2 values, I'm going to give the actual hike to the employee. So now let's write down the function. Now based on the years of experience, let's calculate whether the person is junior, mid or senior. So let experience level, I'm going to define a variable, let experience level is equal to junior by default. Now if my years of experience are greater than equal to 3 and years of experience are less than equal to 5, then my experience level becomes mid. Else if years of experience are greater than 5, then the experience level becomes senior. Awesome. Now let's calculate the final hike percentage that we need to give to this employee. Constant hike percentage. First, let's calculate the hike percentage based on the experience. So it will be experience hike percentage is equal to experience hike. I'm referring to this object, experience hike at experience level. So this is the hike based on the experience. Now let's calculate the hike based on the domain. Domain hike percentage is equal to domain hike. And if the person is not from this domain, then I need to define some default value, let's say 5% of hike. So let's get a final hike factor. So constant hike factor will be 1 plus experience hike percentage, which is this, plus domain hike percentage upon 100. Great. Now we need to just calculate the new salary. So constant new salary is equal to previous base salary into the hike factor. Great. Now we can just return a final object which has my previous base salary, which has my years of experience, it has my domain, it has my hike percentage, which will be hike percentage, which will be domain hike percentage plus experience hike percentage. And then I'll have my new salary, which will be new salary, and let's limit the decimal values to 2 decimal values. So 2 fixed. So this is the function and we are returning the complete object. Now let's try to run it once and then we will see how to use these tools with our prompt. So previous base salary, let's say my previous base salary was 1 lakh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100,000 rupees basically. Years of experience, let's say I have 4 years of experience and let's say my domain is data science. Now let's run it. So you can see previous base salary 100,000 INR, years of experience 4, domain is data science, Hike percentage, I'm going to get 40% of hike, and new salary will be 1.4 lakh. That is 140k INR. Great. So let's just save this prompt tool also. And now let's go to our prompts, single prompts. Let's create a new prompt. Let's call it as tech is HR. So this is the description. Let's click on create. Great. Now I need to write a very descriptive system prompt. With that, I also be providing some context. So this is my context. These are some of the HR policies of Techies company. So first of all, let's write down a very descriptive system prompt with some definition of our prompt tools also. Okay, so to save your time, I've already written the system prompt over here. So you can see I'm saying you are an intelligent, resourceful HR agent for Techies. Well versed in the company's HR policy, your role is to assist employees, managers, and HR personnel by providing clear, accurate, and professional responses regarding the work policies, employee benefits, leave structures, and company regulations. Then over here, I'm creating a variable for the context. So in this context, I'm going to put all of the HR policies of this company. So let's just paste it. Great. So this is the context that I've provided. Now your capabilities, in addition to addressing HR related queries, you can assist with salary calculations, estimating fair compensation for new hires, reimbursement calculations, determining reimbursement eligibility, and calculating the maximum reimbursement amount for approved expenses. Then after that, I have some description about my function, tool function parameters, like previous base salary is a number, years of experience needs to be a number, then hike percentage, the total hike applied, the new salary will be a number. So expense type can only be travel, training, internet, and meals. This should also be small case because I have not handled this case sensitivity in my tool, which it should be, but for now let's just say it should be small. Expense amount will be a number, amount being claimed, and then reimbursement approved for the amount X if eligible. Expense type is invalid for reimbursement if the category is not supported. Great. And these are some of the response guidelines. Always provide well-structured, professional, and easy to understand explanations. Avoid raw JSON outputs. Format responses clearly for HR personnel and employees. Offer actionable recommendations when relevant. Perfect. Now this is the system prompt. Now I also need to attach my prompt tools. So if you click on this drop down on the right hand side menu, you will see two tools. Techie salary calculation, and next will be reimbursement calculation. And let's increase maximum tokens to 2056. Great. I think we are all set. Let's save this session once, and let's start by writing a user query. Let's say first of all I want to know about the holidays that are offered by the company. Can you provide me some info about the holidays in Techies? So can you provide me some information about the holidays in Techies? Let's click on run. Certainly, in Techies, we follow both national and regional holidays. Additionally, we announce company-specific holidays annually. The specific dates for holidays may vary. Okay, so no information because I think in the context we do not have the holidays information. We do have some leaves and all. Let's ask about the leaves. Tell me about the leave policy. Great. So you can see a very structured response I have got about the leave policy. Employees are entitled to 20 days of paid time annually, and yes, I'm still using GPT 3.5. So let's use Gemini so that it can also do tool calls. Gemini 2 Flash. Now let's ask another question, and then we will be jumping into the questions related to prompt tools. Let's ask about maternity leave. Info on here is information regarding the maternity leave at Techies. Maternity leave 26 weeks as per the law. Great. Now let's ask, I am the HR hiring a data science with current compensation, let's say 1,35,000 per month and 4 years of experience. What salary I should offer? What salary should I offer? So you can see it is making a tool call with these parameters: 4 years of experience, data science, and 1,35,000 the current base salary. And this is the information that we have got from the tool. So new salary should be 1.89 lakh, that is 190k INR. Great. 40% hike is something that the person should get. Next thing that I should ask is about the reimbursement. 6,000 on travel. Let's say, let's see what we get. So tool call 6,000, expense type is travel, reimbursement approved for the amount 5,000. Great. So as we saw that if we attach our tools to an LLM which is capable of making tool calls, it successfully does that, and it detects for which user queries it needs to make the tool call and which tool call it should make. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned how to write your own custom prompt tools on Maxim, and I hope you will be making something of your own. To get started with Maxim, you can check out evals.new, or you can also check out the link in the description. Till the next video, enjoy your AI journey.